How pessimism destroys your life. I want to break down this video the honest truth as to how, if you look at things in a negative light, it will completely destroy your life, and how, if you have optimism, right, you'll have the best possible life. It'll be 10 times better than if you're pessimistic. And I know this because this is exactly the change I went through from being a pessimist growing up to becoming a ruthless optimist. Right? I know a lot of you thinking this may sound pretty stupid, right, Michael? Why are you talking about this such basic stuff? I thought you want to talk about sales. This is the foundation that everything is built on, right? So if you're not willing to understand the foundation, if you're not willing to understand the basics of how your mind thinks and how you view this world and life and everything, right? If you can't get through this video, that's going to probably be 5 minutes long. You frankly do not have the desire to actually be optimistic. You do not have enough of a desire to actually get to your goals, right? So watch this entire video because it all works together. It's pieced together to make crystal clear sense. This is your life, right? This is your life timeline. There are times where you will be getting a new job, right? There will be times when you'll be getting a new car. There will be times where you're starting a family. There's times where you're going to be losing a loved one, right? Not all these are good things. Some of these are bad. Everyone's going to go through things similar to this, right? The pessimist looks at getting a new job and they think to themselves, it's going to be stressful. I don't know anybody. How am I going to make this work? Maybe it's not for me. And the optimist has the exact same thing happen to them. And they say, this is an exciting opportunity. I wonder how far I can go. What are the new things I'm going to learn? Maybe I can go ahead and make more money. Who are the cool new cool coworkers I'm going to meet? You see, the exact same event happens, but they see it differently. Same with getting a new car. Whether the pessimist looks at it as the liabilities, right? How much will this cost them every month, right? How will people look at them now? What's the bad perception they might get? And the optimist says, now I'm going to be able to enjoy my rides more. Right now, I'm going to be able to drive more. I'm more willing to maybe drive further distances, go on road trips. Right. I'm so happy I'm far safer. All these different things. Same with starting a family. Same with losing a loved one. You can look at it in a really bad light and say this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And the other way of looking at it is say I'm so freaking thankful I had somebody that I valued and I loved by my side. All right. This is going to be your life timeline. But you might be saying, Michael, what if I want to be realistic? Right? Sure, all these things happen to us, but isn't it pretty stupid to always think everything is going to turn out well? If I always think things will work out, won't I be disappointed? Right? If you're going through this life and you constantly want to pretend everything's going to be great with the new job and the car's going to be perfect and the family's going to be flawless and losing a loved one's not that big a deal, won't I just be disappointed when things actually don't go my way? You know what the truth is? Or you might think you're right, but these are non-negotiable events that will happen in everyone's lives. You cannot change whether or not they occur. You have absolutely zero control over the outcome, the result. The only thing you can control, your perception of life, the way it affects you, how you experience the event. I love this saying, and I've put it in several videos, but reality is created by the mind. We can change our reality by changing our mind. All of these events are non-negotiables. There's nothing you can do about how this job will turn out for you besides how you look at it. Right? And I actually want to explain a crazy theory about how optimism actually has you get better results. But the point is that all you're doing is deciding whether or not you want to experience the exact same thing, right? Version one or version two. But you either want to suffer or you want to thrive. That's it. That's all optimism and pessimism is. Right? I want to give you an example. This is what happens when you become optimistic. You go from day one where you say, it's so rainy, gross outside. I hate my boss, he sucks. My boyfriend is awful and annoying. You might have one good thought. That was a pretty delicious meal. Then you go back home. Oh, it's so cold at home. Day two, you decide to force yourself to think good thoughts. You say to yourself, it's rainy, but pretty fresh. My lungs feel healthy. Still have some of the same thoughts. I hate my boss. He sucks. You think to yourself, I need to try and understand my boyfriend better. I don't get why he acts this way. That was a pretty delicious meal. Same thought as before. Ah, it's so cold at home. Day three. Ah, it's so rainy and pretty fresh outside. My lungs feel healthy. My boss is bossy, but he also pushes us to our potential. I think I'll look for another opportunity soon. I need to try to understand my boyfriend better. I don't get why he acts this way. That was a pretty delicious meal. And it's pretty chilly at home. I'll bundle up and make sure to check out the furnace tonight. Maybe I'll learn how to fix it myself as well. Haha. Optimism compounds. It grows on itself. It makes life better and gives you peace. It clears your head. It makes your life 10 times better. See, the person who is able to be on day three keeps going this way. Sometimes these thoughts will creep in here and there. Don't get me wrong, it'll happen. But in general, this will be the new default. And what happens when you see things in a good way is you start to really tap into your potential. You start taking opportunities that you would have never taken before. That job that you would have always thought would have never worked out for you. You decide one day to take the shot. You decide to try it. And you know what the crazy thing is? It actually works out really well. And you look back to yourself saying, if I never thought I had it in me, if I never saw, the positive side, if I wasn't optimistic, I would have never even tried it and I would have never gotten here. You see, in reality, optimism opens up the doors to give yourself back control in your life. That's all it is. You say to yourself, you know what? I'm okay that I can't control everything. Maybe I won't always even be happy, but I can look at the bright side, right? I can look at the glass half full. If you're committed to actually being optimistic and learning a skill like high ticket sales and changing your life, and you believe it's possible for you, more importantly than anything else, simply fill out the apply to work with me here in my bio. It'll look something like this. And if you agreed and you learned something from this video, subscribe and like. It honestly helps a lot. Thanks, guys. That's honestly all I want to talk about. Peace.